should do planner.
You want to do planner? What are you going to do with the planner?
I don't know.
Hi guys, it's Amy with Aim to Plan, and today I'm recording a short video showing you how to basically convert any coil bound notebook into a disc bound book. So what I'm doing here is using several books of Sudoku puzzles that I purchased a long time ago, and one of the things that I noticed with coil bound is that over time they kind of warp and they start bending this way, and it starts making pages a little bit harder to turn, and it gets caught. This one, not so much, but I did notice it kind of fell off the quill already. So, as you probably already know, I love the Happy Planner system. One of the biggest things about the Happy Planner system that I love is the discs. So, what I'm going to do is show you how I take everything off the coils and basically put it together. And I'm thinking about combining these three, not in this video, but I will combine all three into one book. So that way I have something to kind of take with me and play with and kind of do while I'm on vacation or just traveling. So let's get started. So the very first thing is I already have my punch, and I went and grabbed a pair of scissors, even though I don't think I'll use it. And I grabbed my little container of all of my random discs that I have from the Happy Planner and other disc-bound systems. So I'll set that to the side for right now. The way that I uncoil these notebooks, and I do this not just for these Sudoku puzzles, but for any coil-bound notebook like composition books or just, you know, like one subject notebooks, things like that, is I pull off this little edge. Sometimes I will cut it off if it's a lot crooked, and I'm pretty sure that's what I did on this side. I don't even know. Yeah, probably. So what I do is just trim off. You don't have to trim off both ends. You just need to trim off one end, but then you just uncoil it. Just twirl it around. I tend to start at the end, and as it starts kind of getting a little bit tighter, then I'll work my way up here and uncoil it or spin it a little bit at the front. But this one's actually coming off really easily, so that's good news. And all I do is just spin it out. Since this is so easy, I might as well just do the other two and get everything prepared. Well, I won't for the video. I'll just set that to the side and kind of get that done. All right, so my fingers are starting to hurt in spinning these, but it should be relatively straightforward to spin it off. And that's pretty much it. Now, once I get the coils off, you pretty much have just loose paper, which is awesome. I love that about just being able to uncoil it. One of the things that obviously you'll see is that we have the coil marks here, the binding from the coiling. So from prior experience, one of the things that I suggest that you do is try not to punch on this side. You could do it a couple of different ways. One of the ways that you can do it is basically to trim down and cut off the coil marks, the binding here, and then just punch at the left margin. That's normally what I would do, but as you can see with the puzzles here, it kind of cuts into some of the times, especially if I'm punching it, I would cut it and then end up cutting into the finished time, which I don't necessarily use anyway, but it just seemed like an extra step to try to cut through, especially 3 books worth of this. So what I'm going to do instead is punch it at the top. Now, as we punch at the top, one of the things that you'll see as we flip through it is that this will be backwards, but I think that's fine. I'll just flip it over and I'll show you that at the end so you can kind of see what that looks like. So I'm going to pause here, actually uncoil the other 2 so that way I have an extra backing, and we'll take it from there. Okay, so I have all three of the books uncoiled, and the reason I uncoiled it is because this back one, although I love it and I think it would be perfect to use as a stabilizer, it's just way too thick for me to punch, so I won't be able to use it. So I'll have to get rid of that. I'll probably end up using just a Happy Planner cover. So I have to get rid of these backings. in the meantime though, and just kind of do what I can. So what I'm going to do is, instead of trimming it down and cutting into the papers, what I'm going to do is punch it at the top. So let's do that. The very first thing is I like it to be kind of centered. And so you'll see here that, or at least it should be all be even, right? So if I set it to the line, it'll be a little crooked, which actually I think is okay. It's not way off where it would bother me. So I'm just gonna punch it at the line and get through all of these. Let's do it. This sheet is flexible enough that I punched very easily. All right, let's do the rest. Okay, so I've got it all punched, and one of the things that you probably notice is that I don't actually plan to save the solutions pages. I just don't use them for whatever reason. So I consider doing Sudoku puzzles just something relaxing. I don't necessarily have to have the right answer or need to check it. I do want to have the right answer. So I don't need to go back and double check my work. I just do the eyeball method to make sure that the number is in its place. So typically I just toss these pages, and that's what I'm going to do now. So the rest of this is I've never flipped through the actual book itself. The Sudoku puzzles that I got, I actually picked up several volumes, books I think 5, 6, 7, and 8 at least, and they came from the Dollar Tree, obviously for $1, and I really just actually love these puzzles because they are split up into different categories or different levels of difficulty. It starts off with just kind of this beginning page about like how you do Sudoku, which I've done Sudoku for several years now, so I know this. I don't necessarily need to keep these pages. But one thing that I do like is that it has different sections. So there is a section for beginners, and then you can see that it counts all the way up to, and I think it's 30. And then it will have an intermediate section with 30 puzzles. Actually, no, with a lot more puzzles, with looks like 50 or 48, not quite sure, 48 probably. Then advanced puzzles, which are the most difficult for this version of Sudoku puzzles. And so there are, it looks like, it should be 48. I probably tore out a page, right? So then again, solutions page that I'm tossing. And so that's the same format with 3 different categories for each of these puzzles. So what I'm going to do is actually pull out or put them in with beginner, intermediate, and advanced as the different sections. I don't necessarily need to keep them in number order. Again, this is not something that I'm keeping as a memory or archiving in any way. So it's just a matter of playing it while I'm traveling or while I have some downtime just at home or out and about. And once I finish it, I just kind of toss it. And so this book over time just gets thinner and thinner and thinner. So my favorite color is purple. And so what I'm thinking is just using this as like the front of the book. And the white is just a little bit too white, I think, although I have a ton of white. And I have enough white for this to make sense, so I'll use the white discs. Maybe I should use the gold discs. Doesn't really matter, I don't think. All right, so I'll just use the white. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This did punch into 8 instead of the 9 that is the typical classic system. Discs are noisy. And for those of you who might be wondering, the jar that I got came from the Dollar Tree as well. And I love this thing. I have plenty of space in this jar. I still have about half of the space still left, and it's a nice seal on it. I got it probably in the housewares or jar aisle, like storage, not the storage section, like where the dishes are, whatever aisle that is. That's where I got this. And so I haven't labeled it yet, but I do plan to put discs or something on there. So from the Dollar Tree, love it. So, oops, random disc. Then I just pop it on the discs. That's pretty much it. Again, I will be putting it into categories. I won't do the entire thing for the video, but I will at least get it started. Again, one of the things that I had to get rid of was the really nice cover stock that was the back of this book. And so what I have to do is start off with this front cover, and then what I'll do is just keep it simple and use this as the back cover. When I rebind any planner or notebook or anything, I always start off with the covers, the front and the back, so that way there's at least a little bit of stability. Now this is super flexible, so it's not a ton of stability, but it's enough to get us going. All right, so then I'm turning the paper in the direction that I will put it in, so that way I can just snap it on. I'm getting rid of some of these pages. Again, it's just extra bulk that I don't necessarily need. So the front pages I'm getting rid of. And then let's put in the beginner puzzles. Okay, I've got it all on there, and I have this extra cover, so I'm just going to put it in the back, kind of as a stabilizer. And in fact, maybe what I'll do is take this back cover and mark off the intermediate section, wherever it starts, right here. If I had another cover, this would be perfect. What I'd like to do is mark off the advanced section as well. For the time being, what I will do is remove the back cover. And just use it to mark off the advanced section. It's kind of Transformer-like, except it doesn't have the back cover, so you can see it's missing the back cover. But I think that works out well. And to be perfectly honest, when I do it, the book itself will be uncovered. Again, that doesn't bother me since this is just kind of something to do in my free time. But when I use it, it will have a back cover. Right, so this is what it looks like. This is the beginner section. You can see that it works well this way, but when you flip it over, it doesn't have, I'll have to turn it. But none of that bothers me. Again, not something that I'm using on a permanent basis. It's just something for me to do to kind of take some of the downtime that I have and make it at least semi-productive. And so this is just going to be perfect for me. I love it. I really love this. I'm really excited about it. Step advanced, I guess. Not quite sure what step we're on. Is trying to figure out if I could cut down the backing. That would be awesome if I could add it on. I have plenty of space still on the rings to get that on there. But that is the goal. All right, so I hope you like this video. I just really enjoy doing planner hacks, and I love putting everything on the discbound system. And I think that most people who are using the Happy Planner or other discbound systems enjoy it as well. So this is one of my favorite things to do. I really just love this, and I'm gonna really look forward to working through all of these puzzles. Give this video a like and subscribe to my channel if you're enjoying the content that I'm putting out. Thank you so much for all of the comments and all of the likes and subscriptions that I've received recently. I look forward to continuing to create content that's a little bit different and not just plan with me videos and the same old. I am hoping, I haven't heard from anyone yet, that you're enjoying the videos with Sophia especially. One of the reasons I started this channel was to kind of highlight her content. So give me some comments, give me some feedback on whether you're enjoying those or if you prefer it just to be a strict planner hacks, plan with me channel. I would love to get your opinion on what would work best for this. And I'm willing to do both. I'm just wanting to hear from you. All right. So thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, like, subscribe, and give me a comment. Thank you so much. Have a great day.